Hey you.
Yeah, you. Quickly, I want you to think of someone with autism.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, quick question. Did you think of him?
Easily calculable. We begin by identifying the set of married couples with unisex names. We then eliminate those unqualified for restaurant work, the aged, the imprisoned, and the limbless, for example. Next, we look at the set...
Or him?
I am a surgeon.
Or her?
Down, it's okay.
If you did, then I think you should watch this video. Because this is nothing even close to accurate autism. This stuff is the Disney live-action remake of autism. So, please indulge me as I go over everything that everyone gets wrong about autism. Starting with savants. Besides that, the show is actually really good. Strong recommendation.
And
But let me ask you something. Why did you think of Sheldon Cooper earlier? Is it because he's super intelligent? Which is an autism thing because we autistics have a photographic memory and level 1000 mafia boss music skills. Well, then you'd be surprised to know that actually we aren't X-Men. Only 0.5 to 10% of us actually have savant syndrome. The rest of us are either average Joes like you or possess a talent for something in particular. But not a frickin' superpower, and yet these superpowered Aspies are all that we see on TV because ooga booga, monkey-like people with big brain, and this isn't even the worst part. Even if we take that statistic and we do assume that Woo Young Woo merely falls into that 0.5 or 10%, the savant syndrome itself is still badly written, or rather it's not at all. Whenever Woo activates her savant superpowers, we transition to a whale, and we see her crack the case. But how the hell did she do that? What led her to that point? Who knows, because we see none of it. Even though the show is about her name is literally in the title, we see nothing of her savant brain braining. We also don't see her life as a savant. I mean, surely a super genius at law in Wales would spend any time in their day just immersed in the stuff, right? I'm by no means a savant. At most, I'm merely talented at writing. But I literally eat and breathe stories. I inject prose into my freaking veins. My most played song is a track from Attack on Titan, Splinter Wolf if you're curious. The second part goes so hard. I'm currently rewatching Season 6 of Better Call Saul as emotional support to get me through university, and I do Saul Goodman finger guns at my dog all the time. He doesn't really find it all that funny. So what does our girl Sensei Wu, a savant in law in Wales, do? Well, she held up a sign to protest against whale parks that one time, and, she talks about whales to people, and, yeah, no, that's about it. Without all those details, the savant syndrome is not savant syndrome, it's just a superpower. And as I've said earlier, we're not mutants. If you want to write a savant, write one. Or you can also just not. We have enough of those already. And don't try to copy someone like Dr. House. He can't be topped. You shouldn't even try. Come on, you're better than that.
Sometimes the best gift is the gift of never seeing you again.
Okay, now let's address the elephant in the room. Or rather, the surgeon! Despite the sheer mimic density of this scene and Dr. Han's incredible mewing ability,
I am a surgeon!
I know you know this scene sucks, but do you know why? No, it's not because of the acting. I think Charlie Bucket does an amazing job with what he's given. But if you watch this scene without context, it seems like a fairly accurate depiction of a meltdown. But if I want to be nitpicky, I'd prefer it if Sean has a meltdown after the meeting at someplace private. And it's not Dr. Han either. He's not ableist for transferring Sean. It was a sensible decision, and Sean honestly could be better off in a different department. Lest he be cut to shreds by Dr. Han's razor-sharp jawline.
Surgeon! I am a surgeon!
It's the fact that the show frames Sean as tragic, pitiable. It's the fact that the show infantilizes Sean. It treats Sean like a little baby who's too autistic to do anything right. The writers fall into the second camp of people, where they view autistic people as less than human. The first camp is the savant camp, by the way. Humans who can't get a grip and handle on themselves, and then they just spill their autism everywhere and make a huge mess all over everything.
God damn it, Sean, stop asking the trans kid weird questions. Go stand in your timeout corner.
And I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, it's pretty insulting. Yes, we struggle more, sometimes with things that you find to be common sense, but this is taking it way too far. On top of that, none of his colleagues help him out with it. No one pulled him aside to give him a crash course on Transgender 101, like, hey Sean, transgender people are people who feel like the sex assigned at birth is wrong and wish to change it. They just carry this secondhand embarrassment on their faces and ask him to get a grip. Because why? Because Sean is too autistic to understand trans people? I don't see inability to understand different sexualities listed anywhere on the DSM-5, do you? This is what you end up with when you write about autism without doing your research, or when you're partnered with Autism Speaks. How is this idiot the most popular autism icon out there? Honestly, I can give as many tips as I want about writing autism, which I will in the good representation video coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. But the most important thing is also the most obvious. Do your research. Learn the symptoms, what they are, how they manifest, and how we go about dealing with it. And also what upsides we get from them. It's autism, not stage 3 lung cancer. Get personal anecdotes. I find Reddit to be a good place for this, surprisingly. Run your work by autistic readers for a sensitivity check, and watch the shows I talk about in the next video as a reference, instead of this stuff. And of course, it goes without saying, avoid Autism Speaks.
I am a YouTuber. I am a YouTuber. I am a YouTuber.